Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here. I'm going to review Judy and then talk about the Best Actress race and her hype to win. That's pretty much the reason I went out to see the movie in the first place. I heard it was decent, but nothing spectacular, and I would have to agree with that. Aside from Renée Zellweger's performance, this film is pretty bland. It's like chewing on gum that lost all the sugar, but it's not bad enough to spit it out yet. This film really exists as an Oscar vehicle for Renée Zellweger. I mean, what Oscar box does she not check off? She is playing a real-life person. She's wearing transformative makeup. She sings, she cries, and she cries while singing. Her face is constantly going... She's doing all the twitching. It's a physical performance. It's a vocal performance. This is capital A acting, and maybe a capital C-T-I-N-G. But despite how kind of desperate the movie is to be this Best Actress contender, it's a great performance. I can't say that it isn't. She brings this character to life. In the trailer, I was like, yeah, you're doing... But in the movie, it's like, yeah, that seems true to the person. She brought out all the emotion that this film was lacking. Judy Garland, as I know now from watching the film, suffered a lot of child abuse problems while she was acting as a child in the industry. She has substance abuse issues, depression, anxiety, and the film is about her leaving her children in the United States with her ex-husband so that she can go to the UK and perform a series of shows where she just like sings to earn enough money to buy a place for her and her children. She has a hard time getting the things in life that matter the most. She also has a budding relationship with a younger man that also brings that joy into her life. It's a sad story about somebody who's just trying to get through the toughness of their life to find those little glimmers. The glimmers really made the movie shine. There's a great scene where she meets a gay couple who's big fans of her. She goes back to their apartment and just hangs out with him. As far as like the directing and the look of the movie, it doesn't really do a lot. The film opens on a long take and this great set piece of The Wizard of Oz. Everything about it is extravagant, but like, is there an effect to this? Not really. But again, Renée Zellweger brings the life into the film. She's really excellent. I don't know what else to say. The film went on an upward trajectory for me. It started out okay, kind of bland, and I was like, yeah, this is like what I expected. It's not really doing anything for me. But as it went on, Renée Zellweger's performance had an effect on me, and the end was actually pretty emotional. It left a lot of people in the audience crying. I think that end is what provoked some people to say that this is a Best Picture contender. I still don't agree though. I think that the consensus is too much that the film is just okay. Renée great, movie okay. It's not like the greatest character study. The movie doesn't really have like much of an angle or specific things that it wants to say. There are moments where I'm like, oh, is this maybe where it's going? Is this where it's going? Is it about how her somewhere over the rainbow is her life at home, you know, her fantasy life at home? It's sort of a lot of things. It's never focused enough on being one thing that it becomes a truly great movie. It could have been better, and I saw potential for greatness as the movie went on, but it never quite lived up to that, maybe at the ending. But I walked out thinking it was better than I expected, and kind of glad that I saw the movie. So I would give it a 7 out of 10. Now, is Renée Zellweger really going to win Best Actress? I mean, this movie's not getting nominated for Best Picture. It's probably going to get Actress and Makeup. And who is her competition? It is Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story. That review is coming up. I saw the movie, and I'm not going to say too much about it, but you can follow me on Twitter, and then you can see a couple of things I wrote. Spoiler alert, I really liked it. And Scarlett Johansson is amazing in it. She's giving a different sort of performance. Renée Zellweger is checking all the Oscar boxes for playing like this real life person. It's more of a gimmicky sort of thing. And then Scarlett Johansson is just playing a version of herself. She's not trying to hide behind a character or transform. She's bringing her own personality into the role and doing a fantastic job. And let's not make a mistake. She is capital A acting as well. She is crying and screaming. She's going through a divorce. It's a tough subject and it's an emotional movie. So these are both performances that could win Best Actress. You also kind of have this going on in the Best Actor race as well, whereas you have Joaquin Phoenix on one end, who is giving like the more gimmicky performance. You know, he loses over 40 pounds. He puts on this crazy laugh. He transforms, becomes somebody else, becomes an iconic comic book character, versus Adam Driver, who is very similar to what Scarlett Johansson's doing in the same movie. And you have countless examples of both types of performances winning these Oscars. Examples like Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady, who, very similar to this performance, plays a real-life person, transforms. The movie only got nominated for actress and makeup, and she was up against an actress who was starring in a Best Picture contender, Viola Davis, who's kind of expected to win. I feel that more often than not, if one of the Best Actress contenders is like majorly doing this big transformation, bait performance, they win a lot of the time. Scarlett Johansson could win for Marriage Story. It could go either way. I feel like they could give it to Adam Driver and then also Renée Zellweger. I might change my mind next week, but I'm going to call right now that Renée Zellweger wins. I would be a little disappointed that Scarlett Johansson didn't win because Marriage Story was great and what she brought to that, like both the actors were just amazing and they deserve Oscars. Renée Zellweger was also great. I'm not going to be too disappointed, but you know, it's always like, I don't want to side with like the super gimmicky bait performance, but I think that they might just do that. I mean, how can they resist? How can they resist? Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Marriage Story review is coming soon, so you better stay tuned for that. How much would you cry to win an Oscar?